What's going on there, Reject Nation? I am back here to watch Spider-Man No Way Home for the second time. But this time around, what I wanted to do, instead of just giving my second viewing opinions, because I don't yet want to do a spoiler talk, I'm here with the people I talk about Spider-Man No Way Home with the most. Some I've only kind of talked about Spider-Man No Way Home with, but I know they're big Spider-Man fans, and only one of them is not a big Spider-Man fan. You got to have that one oddball out here. But I wanted to get some fan reactions from the friends that I consider real fans of Spider-Man. So once we're out, going to get some fan reactions from them. We're going to talk about it some more, because this is the best theater-going experience I've had all year, so I want to hear what they got to say, too. Roll that intro and let's go find out. Literally, it's funny. I haven't got anyone's opinion. Normally, I get people's opinions more. It's just like real, like, what do they think? So we got Achara Kirk here, or Achara Kirk. What was your reaction when the movie was done? Give us a talk about your emotional experience during this film. Let's hear what you got to say.
I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really entertaining. I enjoyed spending time with the characters. There were some really great surprises. I'm not going to say anything else about that. It was surprisingly emotional as well. So I liked it. I mean, there were some things that I was like, eh. Of course, no movie's perfect. I think very few are. But was this a good Spider-Man film? Hell yeah. I think everyone's going to really enjoy it, especially all the cheering. You guys have all bought your tickets. So, like, you don't need to listen to me. You're going to go watch it. Go watch it.
All right, we got ourselves Kyle Eilerman from Fan Theory TV channel. Kyle has a very up and down relationship with Sony's Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's also like his favorite character, so I'm very curious. I have no idea what he thinks. The movie just ended. Kyle, I literally have no idea what he thinks. Kyle, what did you think?
So I went in expecting to absolutely hate it, and I did, and I also loved it so much.
What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So there's a lot about it that I think is just a part of it that's very fan servicey that I wasn't a fan of, but at the same time, they couldn't have possibly handled it better. It was a masterpiece, and yet I also... I don't like it, but I love it. I have never felt this way coming out of a movie before. I'm very conflicted right now. As far as a narrative goes, I love completed self-contained narratives, and this of course is not that. I have to give Marvel and Sony huge props for making me kind of go outside of my comfort zone in terms of what I like in terms of storytelling. This felt like a whole different genre almost to me. It was like a whole new experience. So ultimately I would give it a positive review, but there's this part of me that's also dying inside.
This is the most weird, I don't know what to make of that, but thank you, Kyle. Now we got ourselves Dan and Alyssa. But guys, who wants to go first?
Me. I am shooketh. I've been a fan of Spider-Man since I was really, really young. My dad actually introduced me to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and that became like my whole family's Spider-Man. So I've followed Spider-Man's journey ever since, and the different iterations of, and I tell you, this is my favorite Spider-Man to date. I have so many emotions. I felt so many things over the past couple of hours. I'm still trying to process. It was great.
Merry Christmas. Dan, bring it home with a really cynical point of view.
I hate everything. Is that what you wanted?
Just be honest.
I've always really liked Tom Holland's Spider-Man a lot. As soon as he showed up in the MCU, I was like, that guy. I like that guy. This particular movie, I really enjoyed his emotional journey in this one more than the other two, because this one is a big choice with really bad repercussions. It wasn't just about beating bad guys. It was more of a battle of himself in like trying to decide, am I gonna be the Spider-Man that just beats him up and doesn't care what happens afterwards, or is he gonna be someone that takes care of everyone? And so I really enjoyed that.
All right, while everyone's talking, you guys did the best.
Thanks.
That is sincerely. You guys said the things I finally fucking wanted to hear.
I mean, it's true. It's all the truth.
Are we still recording? Don't edit that in. Don't put that in.
We got ourselves a JabyKoay. The movie literally just ended, so give your honest reaction.
I really liked it a lot. There's a lot of fan service in there. I'm trying so hard not to give anything away from what I just watched. I am going to go back and watch it 2 more times, once in regular, once in IMAX, and I'm happy to. I feel like they could have done more. I feel like there were some clunky moments for sure, but the story overall made me happy. I think the action is where I was like, oh, I wish they went a little further, did it a little smoother, but the story beats were so strong for me. I put it up there with Into the Spider-Verse, which is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Did you cry?
Yes, I did. I think that there was at least 2 moments for sure where I got misty, I got emotional. I wasn't like full-on endgame crying, but there were 2 moments where I got misty for sure.
It's funny, like this. I've seen this the second time I'm watching this, and the first time I like got a little misty-eyed, but the second time I think because I'm able to just sit back, relax, and take it in, I was like bawling. There's so much bawling for a wide variety of reasons for me.
So we watched it with a smaller audience, and so it's a little bit different than having a huge crowd where you're all cheering together. In spite of that, I was cheering. I'm like, no, fuck this. I am cheering. I'm so happy right now with some of the moments. There was such great fan service in the film, so it made me happy, yeah.
All right, we got ourselves a Connie. Look, I know you're not used to being on camera, so...
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
As you should be. I have that effect naturally, even if the camera wasn't here. We have not talked about this movie, but you were the one sitting closest to me. And I must say, you were very audible with emotions. Laughter, tears. It was like a tennis game of just, that's all I heard the whole time.
The squealing?
I just want you to tell me what your emotional journey or like how you were feeling throughout about this movie. What did you overall feel towards this film?
So many emotions.
There it is.
I mean, I'm still very emotional. I'm a rather emotionless person.
I would not suspect that from what I heard next in my right ear.
Yeah. I had an existential crisis in that theater. I really loved it. It was fun. I cried so much.
You were probably the cryest in the theater.
Yes. At one point, I looked at John and I said, I'm a wreck. It's true.
You were definitely the most emotive throughout, so I was just happy to have you right next to me. You made up for it. It felt like there was a crowd with me in this ear canal, so thank you.
Terrible.
Yeah. You were really obnoxious and you would shut up the whole time. The one I've been waiting to hear from. Both of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer reaction together. We have talked extensively together about you introduced me to Spectacular. You got me the Spectacular Spider-Man Blu-rays. I wear your shirt on camera because you leave crap at my home, so I'm assuming that's why you're wearing a Dragon Ball shirt today.
I have no Spider-Man shirts left.
I feel you and I have shared the same criticisms towards the prior Spider-Man movies. Obviously, no spoilers. Aaron, I have no idea what you actually think about this movie. I'm learning this for the first time on camera. What did you think?
So I rewatched all the Spider-Man movies coming into this, like literally one every day, and I think that was a really good decision. I feel like it really paid off in enhancing my experiences watching this movie. I thought this movie had heart. I thought it had soul. I thought it had laughs. It really was a culmination, like a celebration of the past 20 years of Spider-Man, and it really made me feel like rewarded for having had that experience. Yeah, this is the most Peter Parker we've seen Peter Parker in a Spider-Man story, especially on film. Out of all of the films we've seen, this is the one that reminded me the most of the soul and the heart of the character that I love so much. This character has so much potential for a future, and he has so much gravitas and has such a good heart and soul. And watching this movie taught me and really kind of showed me that Tom Holland has it in him to be like the Spider-Man. You know, he definitely, like, I love Andrew Garfield. I loved Tobey Maguire's performance. I was like, wow, okay, he can do it. Like, I watched the other movies prior and I was like, okay, he's getting there. And like, oh crap, they did it. They did it in this one. And it made me really excited, and it's an excited time to be a Spider-Man fan. I do have some minor gripes with the movie. It's not a perfect film. There are definitely some characters that I feel are underdeveloped. It is still a very enjoyable experience. I've never laughed, damn near came close to tears, and cheered so hard in one movie outside of Endgame and Infinity War. And that's saying a lot because I love those two films.
You know what this I noticed on the second viewing is that I thought this would be the Endgame of, like, it is in a lot of ways. It is the Spider-Man Endgame. By the time it was ending, I was like, I cannot wait for more sequels. Yeah.
No, it does a great thing of closing the Homecoming trilogy while also setting it off for exciting possibilities to come.
And if you didn't know, Amy Pascal, Sony already confirmed there'd be more sequels, so we're not spoiling crap for you.
Right.
Andrew Gordon one of the biggest Spider-Man fans. How would you describe your journey through this movie?
I really, really love this movie. I think this movie succeeds where Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 failed in terms of it had a multitude of characters. It just did an organically natural job of, not feeling like, there's too many different things going on and not focusing on a story at hand. And I think what I appreciated about this film the most is it's still a Peter Parker story. This movie just really ingratiates to me what it means to be Peter Parker, and Tom Holland just gives such an amazing performance. I mean, it's just off the charts how good this guy is. This film also got me very excited for Fantastic Four because I thought John Watts in this film did a hell of a job directing, and it just showed me that this guy's got range, because I almost thought, like, wait, is this the same guy who directed Homecoming and Far From Home? It didn't kind of feel like it, but then again, just seeing all the multitude of characters that we got and how he was able to balance with a very interesting story and just able to give all the characters their due time just really gets me that much more excited for Fantastic Four. And I think every Spider-Man fan is going to be very happy with this one, or at least most of them are going to be.
We got Michael Tessler.
Tessler.
No, it's Tesla. That's how we call it today.
Right.
So it was Michael, my Jewish friend, one of the two.
You'll just bump you in the head, man.
I don't know what you think about this movie.
Yeah.
Did you say that you rewatched all the Spider-Man movies before going into this one?
I sure did. And I thought that was the right decision. And I stand by that decision because this movie was so rewarding. I had so much fun, and I don't want to spoil anything at all, but it was just really neat seeing things that, like, I'm watching in the Disney Plus shows, like, just make subtle little appearances, like little tiny things that for somebody who's been in, inside the MCU for a while, it was a lot of fun world building. A movie that I thought brought together a lot of different generations. I remember watching the original Spider-Man as a kid. I remember, like, playing the original PlayStation game and swinging around New York City. Get all these things coming together. It's a weird metaphor, but it's like that same feeling that you got, like, during Toy Story 3, where you'd kind of just, like, felt like you, like, grew up with this movie, and pretty freaking magical.
It's like Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
That's the quote of the day.
That is the quote. I also just need to say I've been part of the Reject Nation for a long time. Even before I met you, I was a Reject. And so it's really, really amazing just to see you guys just killing it and thriving. And if anybody deserves it, like, for those that don't know the real Rejects in real life, these guys are really the best of the best.
And anti-Semitic.
And, well, I hope this doesn't make the final cut, but if it does, I can confirm, as a matter of fact, that Greg is not an anti-Semite.
I don't want that out there, Michael.
No, he's just uneducated. There's a difference, so.
We're here with Earl Andrews' dad, Gordon. What did you think about this movie?
Well, usually I'm asleep by now, but, back in the 50s, by the way, because I am old, that I had Spider-Man comics, some of the original ones, by the way, they're worth a fortune. I came home from college, my mom I said, where are my comic books? My mom said, I needed the room, so I threw them out. Thanks a lot, Mom. That's all I can say is that it was a simpler time because I got used to actually seeing all the comics. We were kids. That's what we had. We didn't have movies like this. To see the special effects in this movie, they're phenomenal. It was great to see some of the characters in there. I would have liked to seen a little more of the character basically communicating with each other a little more than what I saw, but it was fun to see them. That was the magical thing about actually seeing them, because I could see everybody smiling and cheering. There were some thin parts in it that could have been a little stronger, but like I said, it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. Would I see it again? Absolutely.
That is perfect. Do you guys see where Andrew comes from? Do you guys see it now?
Oh, I didn't make him. I was out of town.
Oh, he's adopted. Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah, okay.
It's time for a revelation, Andrew. There's one more person I gotta get before the night's over. A man who's only seen, I think 3 Spider-Man movies. How many have you seen? No way. Bullshit. You must have seen 2. Get over here. Just come here. I'll hold this crap. Keep your identity concealed before the internet destroys you. We'll call this man Mr. B. Mr. B has only seen 1 Spider-Man movie, and it was Tobey Maguire.
It was bootlegged. Just to, there's people walking in the DVD, going to the bathroom.
This is an interesting experience here, because everyone here is a major Spider-Man fan and really invests in this franchise. What did you think about this movie?
Zendaya was amazing.
You're the only one tonight to mention Zendaya, and I'm so happy about that.
She looked beautiful. But you know what? It was fun. It was a good time. It was just fun seeing everybody together, and I cheered on with everybody when they cheered on because it felt I should. You know, for somebody that doesn't know much about the whole world, it was enjoyable, and now I feel inspired to catch up.
Did you feel like left out or lost?
No, I mean, I got it, you know. Spider-Man got the kiss. Fought really hard. It was fun, so that was cool. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I came.
I'm glad you came too. You always make it fun. He also saw Venom Let There Be Carnage without seeing Venom. He just likes going to the theaters with us. Oh, thanks, Brandon. I mean, Mr. B. Well, there you have it, folks. That's everyone. The biggest. I went today with my friends who are the biggest Spider-Man fans I could think of, and Brandon. And I liked it a lot more the second time. It was a much smaller crowd watching it here. I gotta say, I was like exceptionally emotional this time around, and from being heartbroken to just being moved from inspiration to heroic moments. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film, and definitely it might actually be my favorite Spider-Man movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's like when you watch it with a crowd of a smaller size, you can just take in the movie and definitely not be influenced at all by like a massive crowd freaking out. You can just absorb the film for what it is, especially on a second viewing. While some flaws stand out a little bit stronger to me than the last time around, it still might be my favorite one. We'll see. I'll let it sit for a while still. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. It's awesome coming to Cinemark, our go-to theater. Do not wait for this to go out on streaming or something. Watch it in the theaters. That's how it has to be. Mic drop that I would do, but I don't want to break this.